All right, today we are getting into 3 different Four Roses single barrel store picks. Let's figure out which one's the best. Hey everybody, and thank you so much for joining me today here on Blind Whiskey Reviews. Today I'm bringing you a fun video, not necessarily the most informative video for you, but it's just going to be a little bit more for fun. These are all different single barrel store picks of Four Roses. These were sent to me by Denver Whiskey. I will put their account on the page. Definitely go check them out. They got a great selection of pictures of different whiskey bottles. Really hard to find stuff, rare stuff, and got a lot of followers too, so definitely go check them out, and thank you very much for sending this stuff out. They actually sent this to me quite a while ago, and to be honest with you, I completely forgot I had it, and so I'm very glad to be finally getting to it today. But these are all single barrel store picks, and I believe all of them were picked by the same couple of groups. So that was between, I think it said Davidson's Wine and Spirits in Colorado and the 5280 Whiskey Society. Both went in and did these picks. So I think all 3 of them are from both of those people. But also 2 of them are the same recipe. So these are obviously 3 different barrels, 3 different whiskeys, 3 different ages, but 2 of them are the same recipe. And to be honest with you, I don't even know which recipes they are. I don't remember. But I remember that 2 of them are the same recipe. So I think it'd be a little bit of fun to try to figure out if I can pick out at least which 2 are the same recipe, to see if there's that much variance. Now, Four Roses is kind of known for being a pretty consistent distillery because they have lower rick houses, and a lot of people think that because their rick houses aren't tall, their whiskey product stays a bit more consistent than some of the other distilleries that are out there, especially the big distilleries. So let's find out maybe if that's true or not, see if we can pick out which of these 2 are the same recipe and which one I like the best. So let's get into them. We'll start over here. Got that nice Four Roses nose. Little sweet, little spicy. Some nice red fruit characters there. This one's a little bit hotter, got a little bit more alcohol on it. Again, I don't remember what proofs these were. I don't know that there's a big difference in alcohol, but this one definitely comes off the glass with a little more heat. Somewhat similar nose. I feel like there's a little less spice on that one. Oh man, they all have that Four Roses vibe to them, but there's small differences between them, and I honestly couldn't tell you which ones were the same recipe at this point. This one has more of that red fruit nose, so these smell a little bit similar to me, but we will find out. And I'll put on the screen which recipes are which so you guys know. I probably would have already done that by now, but maybe I'll just pop it up. So let's start over here with the taste. Cheers. Delicious. Some nice red fruit up front. As it goes over the palate, you definitely get some of those nice herbal qualities though. You're getting some like spearmint type qualities. Very herbal spearmint. A little bit of cinnamon. Definitely stays sweet too. Let me get some water over here. But yeah, definitely good. I've always been a big fan of the Four Roses single barrel store picks, so far these are no exception. That one tastes fantastic. Let's move on to the second one over here. This one does a similar thing where it's got those sweet red fruits kind of up front. As it goes over, it gets more herbal qualities, but this one stays sweeter in the back end. And it almost has like a chocolate-like quality to it too. Kind of added on to some of those herbal characters and that sweetness. Interesting. Let's move on to this. Actually, get another little sip of water. And we'll move on to our last one. Out of the three, this one tastes spicier to me. It doesn't have the same amount of sweetness as these two do. It doesn't have that big pop of red fruit up front like these two do. It has more herbal qualities toward the back. Maybe like a little even bit of black pepper. Definitely got some cinnamon back there. Definitely has some like oaky qualities to it, like kind of those tannic, bitter, oaky qualities. And like I said, it's not as sweet on the finish either, so maybe that's why those qualities are standing out a little bit more. Anyway, so far so good on all three of these. Right now, these two are tasting more similar than this one does. But I'm going to go through all these a little bit more, get some tastings. As I've done in some of my other videos, I'm going to speed that up so you guys don't have to sit here and watch me just sip on these things for a little bit. And we will be right back with a few more notes and my decision on which one of these whiskeys is the best and which two I think are the same recipe. So let's do that. All right, so I have gone back and forth on these a ton, and it's kind of crazy. They each have some similarities, so it's really difficult to pick out which of these might be the same recipe. But I've definitely decided which one I think is the winner. So this one in the middle, for me, is the most well balanced. It has a nice balance of sweetness with those herbal notes. They're all really good. I mean, Four Roses picks are fantastic, and these guys did a great job picking these ones. But this one to me is the most balanced out of the bunch. It's got a nice pop of that red fruit. It's got a nice sweet finish. So I think for my palate, this one tastes the best. Followed by this guy. This one gets a little bit more spicy than this one does. Doesn't finish quite as sweet, but it definitely has that nice pop of red fruit in the front. Switches into some of those herbal qualities, but it has a little bit of lingering sweetness through the finish. This one to me is the most dry in the sense that it doesn't have as much sweetness as these two do. So it finishes a little bit drier, and it has a little bit more bite on those spices. So to me, it has the least amount of complexity to it as well. These ones seem to have a few more characters to them. This one has just a little bit less. It has, like I said, it's a little bit dry, not quite as sweet on the finish. So for me, it's my least favorite finish out of the three. So for that reason, I'm going to give it third place. As to which of these are the same recipe, to be honest with you, I'm taking shots in the dark because there's all very close similarities between all these. I could easily say, oh, well, the red fruit in the front on these tastes the same, or the spice on these tastes the same, but I'm going to take the guess that these two are the same recipe, only because they kind of follow a similar profile. They have a similar finish to them. This one has a much different finish on the back of the palate to me. Like I said, it's a lot sweeter, has a few more different notes to it, a little bit of, like I said, that kind of like sweet chocolate note that kind of blends in with some of those spices. So for me, I'm going to say this one is one recipe and these two are on another, but who knows? So let's get to the reveal. So I have all the different whiskeys written down here in this piece of paper. So on this, I'll tell you the different recipes. There was 2 OBSVs and 1 OBSF. They were all around the 9-year mark. So I'll tell you what they are as I reveal them. So let's start with our third place finisher. Our third place is number, I don't know if you're going to be able to see this, but number 2. And number 2 cannot possibly be the same recipe as these ones because these are the same recipe. Number 2 is the OBSF. So OBSF, 8 years, 11 months, it's called Attitude Adjustment, and it was bottled at 112.6 proof. So it was the lowest proof out of the bunch, and maybe that's why it had a little bit less flavor packed into it than these two did. But that was my third place finisher. My second place finisher was number 1. Number 1 was an OBSV at 9 years, 2 months, bottled at 120 proof, and they called this one Altitude Sipness. I thought this one was really good too. I liked the finish on this one. It was nice, a little bit more nicely balanced. And the winner was the I'm Your Huckle Bourbon, which is 9 years, 7 months old, and bottled at 119.4 proof. So that was a fun one. That was definitely my favorite. This one seemed to have a bit more alcohol on it to me. And strangely, it is the oldest, so you would think it'd have a little bit more smooth character. It just kind of presented itself. It had a lot of flavor, but it also had a little bit more heat than I felt that these other two did. So it actually was not. I mean, this one was slightly higher proof, not by much. These were very close, and they were the same recipe. So very cool experiment. Very glad to have done it. Thank you again to Denver Whiskey for sending these out. I really appreciate it. This was a lot of fun to do, and you guys did some great picks. So keep up the good work. Let me know what you guys think about Four Roses single barrel store picks in the comments down below. What recipe is your favorite? I'm kind of partial to OBSK, but that's just me. But what's your favorite? Let me know in the comments down below. As always, you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at blind_reviews. You can also catch me on Instagram at Mission Bottle Kill, where I'm posting pictures of people killing all kinds of great bottles of whiskey. And you can also send me an email at blindwhiskeyreviews, that's whiskey with an E, at gmail.com. And until next time, cheers.